Okay, good morning, everybody. Super excited for this morning. We have a
Good
lot
morning.
going on, even though it's December, and we're going to come to you guys with a special impact hour. It'll probably be Monday at this point, with a super exciting strategy for what we're going to head into end of December, early January. It's you guys, like, this company just continues to blow us away with everything that they're doing and the marketing strategy and just the leadership that they have and being able to plan incredible things to support our businesses. So there's like never a dull moment. And if you can just mute, if you're busy and got stuff going on, that'd be awesome. So what I wanted to talk about today, and this can be a little bit of a dialogue, we can take questions at the end, is recruiting, okay, and bringing on team. And the great thing about this social retail model is that you don't have to build team to have a super amazing check and a super amazing business. But I know a lot of you want to build team, and you came here maybe with the idea of getting customers, but now you're excited about what we're doing and you want to have more of your friends along the ride with you. So what we can do is get into some mindset. I want to really talk about mindset because it all starts with our mindsets. Some of you guys have had experience and background in this kind of a business before, and some of you haven't. And whether you have or you haven't, I think, this is a clean slate that we have here. We can start from scratch because this is different and this is special and this is amazing. Okay. And, for those of us who came from another company, I mean, I lost my belief in that business. So I didn't really focus on recruiting a lot. And I know that a lot of you guys share that. Or maybe you've never really built a team at all. So we're kind of starting from scratch. So I want everyone to just kind of like clear their minds around recruiting, and we're gonna just build up your belief and this muscle. And recruiting is a muscle that you want to really focus on. It's like any new body part that you want to you want to strength train. You have to focus on doing the activity and building that muscle one conversation at a time. And if you haven't had a chance, so I just want to start from the beginning. If you haven't had a chance to listen to Justin's call that he did on Monday night, please listen to that call and build your belief in what we're doing here with social retail. That is job number one. This is a company that has had 300% growth in 11 months. 300% growth in 11 months. It's nothing that I've ever experienced ever in my life. It's nothing that probably any of you guys have ever experienced in their life. It is certainly nothing like what most companies are experiencing this year. So we have such a special and unique opportunity. And I know I am not alone in my huge desire to go out and tell people about this company and give people an opportunity that truly could change their life, that could give them so much hope, that could give them a way out right now of the financial stress, of the, really the struggles and the challenges that so many American families, and honestly, families all over the world have right now as we end 2020. So if you haven't really listened to what Justin has to say, please go back and listen to that call. I will listen to calls a second time, multitasking, folding laundry, wrapping presents, doing whatever you're doing right now. It's so important that we kind of bathe in that mindset and that belief. And what I know as a leader is that sometimes you have to borrow other people's belief. You have to borrow their story. You have to borrow their success. Justin's check is a check that I couldn't even get my head around. I have to borrow his vision and his belief sometimes as I'm working on mine. So what he really encourages his leaders to do is to borrow each other's stories, borrow each other's success, lean into the success of this leadership team. You don't just have one leader that like, oh, wow, well, it was like a chance and she took it. And so now she's having success. No, all of us are having success. All of us. I counted up Tracy's promotions just on her team because I'm trying to come up with a post. 93 promotions Tracy had in her organization. So Steph, I know you had like well over 100 in this entire organization in the month of
You mean,
November.
I was just gonna say, I was 150 actually, 150 promotions in a month. I mean, what
It's
the heck?
crazy. It's crazy, you guys. So lean into the success that we're having. And I want to point you to a couple of resources that you can also listen to if you need to continue to build this muscle. The first, and I know Justin's going to be updating the legacy team and the units, and there's a lot of stuff going on, you guys. Oh my gosh, the elites are working on such an incredible project right now for new people. But in addition to listening to his call, you know what, Jenny, I'm going to make you a co-host so that you can help me just a little bit. Actually, I think I got it. Okay. Unit 18, Justin has a whole presentation on recruiting, and he did that in May. So that might be something that you can lean into and you can watch, take some notes, especially if this is something that you really want to focus on and work on. And then in Unit 20, Sarah Zalecki does a presentation on recruiting, because in August, we did a whole Project 100 where we reached out to 100 people. And we really focused on, building our teams during that time. I mean, that's something that any of you can do any month ever. You can build that list of 100 people and you can start to invite people. Okay, so I want to get into some of the semantics of recruiting and some of the things that we can do to have these conversations all the time. The number one skill in recruiting, this is the most important thing that you guys want to do, you can write this down, is listen. Listen to the people that you're talking to. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Be a better listener than you are a talker. I think so many times we think we need to have the right things to say. We need to have the right verbiage. What is the exact thing? And honestly, you guys, for those of us that really recruit a lot and love to build team and have built that muscle, we just get really good at listening to people. And then it's easy, then it's easy to bring up this business to people. I mean, all week long, we have people telling us things and we can pick up on what they're saying. And it gives us an entryway to have a conversation, right? So be a better listener. Who told you yesterday that they're loving the products? I mean, guys, every day I'm getting messages. This stuff is working. This was last night, a girlfriend. This stuff is working. My clothes are looser. Is that normal? I said, yes. Come do this with me. I just go right there. It's not hard for me to say, okay, you need to do this with me. But we'll talk about that. Okay, so number one is listening. Number two, this is so important, and I need to remind myself of this every week, is to not judge people's circumstances. I beg of you to not judge the fact that your neighbor drives a Tesla or your cousin just vacationed for a month in Hawaii. Please don't judge people's circumstances. We have no idea what's going on truly in people's lives and what this business can do in so many areas of someone's life. People right now are looking for community. They're looking for positive people. They're looking for positive people. They're looking to have some fun. Yes, we all want to make more money so that we can have more options in our life and serve and do more and contribute more. But sometimes, you guys, people are just looking for community. And we have it. We have such a fun community. They're looking for personal growth. They're looking to grow. I have so many women my age that, their kids are growing up. They want something for them. They want something that they can do to have a purpose so that they can just, have something to do. There's only so much online shopping we can do. We can't even go anywhere right now. I live in Southern California. So please don't judge. Please don't judge people's circumstances. If someone had judged my circumstances 18 years ago when I first started, I would not be here because I had a corporate job. I looked successful. I looked fine. We really truly don't know. Someone had judged, Tracy's circumstances. Should not need a gig, should not, but yet she did because she wants to make an impact. And it was more in here than it was external. So it's really, really, really important not to judge. Okay. When it comes to verbiage, there is some verbiage in the verbiage doc that we have, the master verbiage doc. I'm going to update that a little bit today because I was looking at that. My favorite thing to say to people is, okay, are you open to taking a look at this business? Are you open? Not like, oh my God, you need to do this. Oh my God, I want to sign you up. Oh my gosh, you'd be perfect at this, but are you open to taking a look at this? And some of you guys are really used to this verbiage and you know it, but just, like, who doesn't want to be open? Like, we all want to be open to things. No one wants to be considered to be closed-minded. Are you open? Okay, you're loving the products. You're already telling people, yes, you can save money and get shopping credit, or you can make money. Do you want to know how I'm earning money with social retail? If your friends are sharing their code, those are naturally people that you want to bring up this business to. I have a friend, this is just an example. She does not need a business. She was a referral post from October. She was not on the products. This is the other thing that I want to talk about. She was not on the products. She posted and she got 3 customers. And I said, Debbie, you're doing this and you don't even have the product yet. Are you open to taking a look? And she was like, you know what? No, I'm not. I definitely feel like I should at least order. I was like, okay, fine. That shouldn't be a reason, but fine. So she ordered. She's actually has had some, I've needed to work with her lean body. She hasn't been like an overnight, oh my God, this is the best product ever. But she told me the other day that she's telling more people. I said, okay, you need to look at this now. You're already telling more people. So now she's open. So now we're taking the next steps. You definitely need to invite people more than once, you guys. They're going to tell you no at the beginning, or maybe, maybe they won't, but maybe they will. You need to ask people several times. Definitely do not give up after the first time, because this takes multiple invitations. And I know that many of you on this line, 32 of you, can have a story around your friend that invited you to this business, and it maybe took multiple exposures. It sometimes does, and that's okay. It really, we owe it to our friends to go back and loop back with them. So, definitely do that. The other video, sorry, I'm jumping around. The other video in the legacy team, it's not in a unit, but I really encourage you to watch it. You can go into the search tab and search for the name Sarah Cheney. Well, I'm going to put this in the notes section. She did a great training video during the month of August when we were doing this Project 100. And Tracy refers to this a lot. I love her because she talks about the fact that we do not need to have a result in order to share with our friends about the product or the business. And the way that she positions this is, I'm not going to wait for me to have a result before I give you a chance to have a result. So in other words, I'm not going to be selfish and hold back on this product or this opportunity for me to have a result. I'm not going to make $1 million. I'm not going to wait to make $1 million before I tell you that you can make $1 million. That's very exaggerated. I'm not going to make $500 before I tell you that you can make $500. I'm not going to hold you back. Most of us leaders, well, all of us leaders that started with Modere this summer left companies, left great incomes, and we had no product in our bodies. None, because there weren't any products. Everything was back ordered. It took a month for me to get my collagen. So we had the Real Results Room. We had the confidence of the Real Results Room and literally thousands of people getting results. We didn't wait to get a result. Now, I know that a lot of people are just wired that way. They want to see something, but I'm going to encourage you to build the muscle of really working on those conversations and really encouraging people not to wait, because people are going to get results with this product. We know that they work. These products work. So leaning into that Real Results Room and helping people see that they don't need to wait before they share with their friends, right? And sometimes, we just need to meet people where they're at. The last thing that I'm going to say about verbiage is the most effective way for me to bring up the business is using my voice. So the voice text, the voice messenger, that is, I think words are cheap when it comes to this business. This is a life-changing business. I'm not going to cheapen it by using written words. I want people to hear my voice. And I know that that's a skill that, some of you want to work on. The voice, it's magical. Number one, it's faster. It's way faster. And they can hear my voice. They can hear that I care about them. They can hear that I want them. I would love to partner with you. Are you open to taking a look? You're like, I've known you since we were 5. Like, come and have some fun with me. Voice is everything. It really is. So I'm going to encourage you guys to use your voice when you're reaching out about this. My favorite verbiage, and I'll put this in here, when I invite people every Tuesday to that Tuesday night call, you guys. Like, that is a big rock event for me. And even if it's only one person, that I get on there, I don't care. Every week, I know I can count on Justin Prince to rock it out. I can count on amazing stories. I mean, this week, Kimmy had beautiful, amazing stories on there. Every week we have great stories. And I want my friends to hear these amazing stories from women, all walks of life, and a few good men. It's not to count our few good men that show up, but mostly women. And we usually have like a really cool, diverse, spectrum of people, right? So let's really have an abundant mindset around that. So what I wanted to do this morning, and if, Steph or Jen, Jenny, Steph, Kim, if you guys have anything else that you want to add to this conversation and training around recruiting, I personally, you do not need to team build in this company, right? You don't, and you can make amazing money and you don't have to team build. For me, I want to help more families. I want to impact people. So many people are hurting right now, you guys. Restaurants, small businesses, women that have poured their heart and soul into something. We owe it to them to tell them that there's a way that they can create a business from their phone. So that's how I feel about that. And so that's why this month, especially, people are looking at their life. They're going, what is going to go on in next year? We all pray for a better year. We know it will be. But this is a year that this is a month that people are reflective, just like what Justin said the other night. They're reflective. They're looking at their life. This business was the best part of 2020 for my family. Yeah. Bar none. Bar none. The best part of 2020. It would have been a really, honestly depressing year if it wasn't for this business. It's a highlight in my life. For no question. So let's really lean into that. Yeah.
Hey, Lisa, I'm sitting outside of a recruiting lunch right now, actually. But I wanted to add 1 or 2 things here. Posturing is so important. And one of the things that I love about this marketing plan is this. I used to always coach people, like, one of the most important things we can do in these conversations with potential customers or team members is detach from outcome, right? If we walk into it with a mindset of sheer abundance, and here's what I mean by that. I've heard people say before, and it's true, like, and I want you guys to take this, the spirit in which it's intended, okay? When I'm talking to someone about this business, the fact of the matter is, like, I don't need them to join my team in order for me to be successful. Right. For a couple different reasons. right? Not the least of which is our marketing plan doesn't require it. I can go make $10,000 a month with no team member. There's people making way more than that with no team members, okay? But remember that, like, we don't need these people to join, we want them to join.
Mhm.
But when you detach from that outcome and think like, I don't need them to join, but they need this,
Yeah.
it's them that needs this. It's not us that needs them to do it to hit any number. The other thing is this, put yourself in their position, knowing what I know now. And I have literally sat and made a list of people that I always said, I'm never going to reach out to certain people. Wait till they reach out to me out of respect for X, Y, or Z. Okay. No, you know why? Here's why. Knowing what I know now, if any of those people I'm thinking about knew what I knew and did not reach out and tell me about it, I would literally be offended. I'd be like, you could have at least given me the honest heads up, right?
Right.
So just know that. And I would say, remember when you're offering this business and partnership with somebody, it's like the biggest compliment ever. I don't think anyone has ever been offended when somebody has said, I think you're amazing. I think you would crush this. I just want you to know you have an open invitation because you're one of my favorite humans and I would love to help you crush this and have some fun. I need you to just always know you have an open invitation.
Yep.
Who's going to be offended by that?
Right.
Zero. No one's going to be offended by that. So at a minimum, I would say some of the verbiage I've been using that's been really good is like, here's what I need you to know as my friend, right? That this is awesome. My mind is blown and that I'm always here and that I'll be cheering for you in everything you always do in life. But I want you to know that like you have an open invitation because you're one of the most awesome people I know. And I think you will crush this, period.
I love that, Kim.
Yeah, and Lisa, I'll jump in.
Yeah.
Like you said, it definitely for some people it's going to take multiple exposures, you guys, and multiple reach outs. But you're planting every time you speak with that person, you're planting the seed, and they're going to start watching. They're going to start watching you and what you're doing on social media. And one thing Beth Andrews and I talk about all the time is you guys like look at the people on this Zoom right now. Like what we are creating is beyond special. The people that have joined this team, the kindness, the authenticity, the inspiration, like who wouldn't want to be a part of this? Like, so you've got to keep asking. You've got to keep asking and they will be watching.
Yeah.
And it's all about timing. We talk about it's not in our time, it's in their time.
Yeah.
So just be confident in that what you're offering your friends is absolutely amazing. And it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might be next month or next July, but they're watching and they're going to want to come along. But if you don't ask now, they're never going to know.
Yeah.
They're never going to know.
Yeah. Although once in a blue moon, people will raise their hand and say, hey, like my girlfriend Jill, who's on here, which was so fun. I'll never forget that text. She was like, hey, I think I could do this. I was like, oh my God, that's so great. That's not common. That's not common. People are waiting for an invitation. They're waiting. They are. And, just Jill, to highlight you, I mean, you never would have raised your hand for what I was doing before. And that's the other thing, you guys, for those of you who have had experience in other companies, maybe the one that some of us are from, or maybe a different company, it's different. Yeah, never. Isn't it funny? And so that's what has been the biggest surprise for me is that so many awesome women that would have never joined me before are here now. And so we have to go into that with that non-judgmental open-mindedness that this is so different and unique. Social retail is so freaking amazing. I mean, Justin told Tracy and I yesterday, we were talking to him a little bit about some of this stuff that's coming up, which is so fun. You guys are going to like be blown away. He doesn't want to just be the leader in social retail in the traditional direct selling space. He wants to be in the big leagues with the Amazons and the online. I mean, you guys, like, honestly, his vision is so huge. It's huge. And you think about how Amazon has grown in the last 10 years. And yes, they've employed a lot of people, and that is incredibly noble and given so many people jobs. But imagine if we can give people the opportunity to, millions of people to have their own business. in a simple way. Like to me, like that's way more exciting than a job.
Hey, Lisa, with that, I just want to say I had reached out to Kemi Fisher the other day to pick her brain on something. She's the one who just came. She's known as like the Amazon queen, guys. She's done over $3 billion in sales with a B. That's crazy on Amazon. She's very well known like in e-commerce. Okay. And I was just like curious, like why she said, yeah, like what attracted her to this, you know what I mean? Someone like that. And she was like, you know what, Cam, here's the deal. She's like, I feel like I'm really good at vision. She's like, and I saw the Amazon vision like in the early 90s and started building for it and learning it and understanding it. And she was like, they literally own like half the internet. This is the other half. Modere is literally going to be the other half. Like people who aren't getting in, jumping in right now, I'm telling you are crazy. She's like, this is literally the other half of e-commerce. We're sitting on it right now. And I was like, oh yeah. I'm saying like so, because I've always felt that way. And I suspected that's why she came over, but I wanted to hear her say it. And one of the reasons I wanted to hear her say it is so I could tell people. Like I didn't want to be like, I think that's why she came. I wanted to be like, oh, look, I talked to Amazon Queen and this is why she's here, guys. So now you know too.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I can't remember if you said that on our call or not. Or like if you said that on the team call or the call for the leadership, but that was one of the things I remember him saying to me before I joined. He was like, we're not competing against the Stella and Dots and the, whatever, Rodan and Fields companies, the juice. We're not competing. That's not the field we want to play in. We are competing against Amazon.
Right.
And that's why they kill Black Fridays, because that's the ball field that they're playing in. They're not like the other thing is like, that's small fish for them. And that's one thing that I thought was so attractive when I was looking into Modere was the vision that he had for the future. And we see it all the time. Like it's continually blowing my mind how forward thinking he is.
Yeah.
It's blowing my mind and in an incredible way.
Yeah. The vision.
The other thing to keep in mind is, if you're thinking about asking someone to join your business, stop and think, if you didn't ask them, and then a week later or a day later or a month later, they came back and said, hey, guess what? I joined this new company, or I joined the same company you're with, but on another team. How would you feel? Would you be saying to yourself, I really wish I'd had that conversation with them so they were on my team instead? If that's the case, then you need to have that conversation with them.
Yep. No question. You don't want to, when we all go back to having live conferences, which we will, you don't want to go to the next conference and like see your friend that like, you work out with at the gym and she's sitting in a different row with other people. It's like, oh, wait a minute. So,
and guys, people don't realize that people think they need to be invited. Okay. And I love giving examples like with SmartShip. When I give the grocery store example, I think about this with recruiting. Just this last weekend, I was looking out my window and one of my neighbors had the fire pit going and a couple people drinking wine. And I was like, oh, and Caitlin my daughter goes, what? And I go, wish I was invited. And she goes, what are you talking about? No one was invited. Everyone just showed up. That's how it works on our street. That's not like a planned party. Like you can just go out there. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. But I was thinking that's not how most things work, guys.
right.
And I even knew that's not how this worked because that's just how we roll on the street all the time. And I still had that, I wish somebody would just send me a text and tell me to come over next door to the fire pit so I didn't feel like I was just showing up, right? Even though I know it's an open invitation, people need to be invited, guys.
Yep.
Even your closest friends need to be invited.
Yep.
Because then they know they're invited. And Jenny, I think you made the greatest point. Even if they're not ready right now or not open or haven't been watching, trust me, once they're invited, they're watching. Then they're watching.
Yep. Timing and they're watching. All right. So you guys can put some more questions in the chat if this comes up, but I hope that you are inspired. And what I want you guys to do, we'll put on some music. I do not have the Tracy Poncherelli playlist. Okay. Let's just be real here. But I have Pandora. And so let's put on some music and I want you guys to write a list down of at least 10 people that you want to partner with in 2021 and that you're going to have conversations with this week, because we don't want to wait. And this is when people are making, there's a lot going on in people's heads right now. So make a list. Let's get to work. And then we'll answer any questions in the chat.
Hey, Lisa, before
Yeah.
you get started, there's a couple questions that have not been answered.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay. Is there any particular verbiage for inviting to the Tuesday call, to the attraction calls, Tuesdays and Thursdays? And then how do you work with somebody who is not seeing results from the lean body system?
Okay, so the first question is easy. I say, this is my favorite thing to say, and I am going to put this in the verbiage doc today. Just come be a fly on the wall. I would love for you to come and listen to what I'm doing with social retail. Come and hear from the guy who helped create this model. Just come be a fly on the wall. You don't have to make a decision. You have to join right on the spot, but just come and listen. I mean, that's honestly all I say. It's very few words. It's very few. And then that's a separate topic, but people who aren't getting results in the lean body system, are they using the probiotics and the digestive enzymes? We have really found that those two tools make a big difference. Are they drinking a ton of water? Have they given it enough time? This is a different journey for everyone. Are they doing the things in that sheet that we have? Are they moving their body? Are they, fueling with good food? I mean, guys, come on. Like, a lot of us have backgrounds in health and wellness, and we're just good, smart humans. You can't eat ice cream and fast food and sit on the couch and drink the trim and expect anything to happen. Like, you just can't. You gotta work with us here. I mean, listen, that Real Results Room does have some people that have shown up and that have taken the trim twice and they have inches lost, but set a very low expectation with your friends. Most of your friends look like you. They don't need to lose a ton of weight, and they, need to give this time. So that's what I would say. And we're going to address that next week. So let's table more lean body conversations for next week. All right.
Lisa, can I ask something really quick?
Yes.
I was interested in looking about information about India opening, and I've dug a little bit, but the only thing I found is like the pre-launch stuff, which has passed. Is there a contact person or a resource place I can go to learn about India?
Yeah, I think there is a contact person. Let me ask that question, and then we'll put that in the chat.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. We'll put that in the chat. All right, guys, let me stop recording so we don't get in trouble.